the one I learned to play on. Believe me or not, it's been all around the world. It's been back and forth to Georgia, Carolina a couple times. But there's that one trip that takes me back in time. On a plane ride to a foreign land, a journey had begun. To a different time with my old man, watching the more dogs run, telling stories and comparing battle scars. Well, they're always among us, brothers in arms.
Good evening and welcome to IITW Radio. Did I say it slow enough? Okay, tonight is what's pissing me off. There's a few things that's pissing me off, and we'll get into that in a second. That was Austin Neal playing that you just heard. Austin Neal will be at Crystal Cove tomorrow night in Palatka, starting at 7:30 until about 10. It is, I'm sorry?
7 to 10.
7 to 10. That's what I said. From 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. And Austin Neal is kick butt. If you guys haven't heard him, you need to go on the radio show. It'll be playing after we get off the air tonight, some of Austin's music, along with all of our other artists. The seating is limited over there. So I don't know, are they supposed to call and reserve a spot? Or just show up? Just show up.
Just show up.
Yeah, and seating is limited, so you might not be able to get in.
Make
So
sure
it's
you're
first
there
come,
early.
first serve. So I would get there early. They have some kick butt food. And nope, that's the wrong person. Anyways, we're getting ready to put up a picture of my friend Lee. Just a little bit. Okay, one of the things that's pissing me off is the election. That's the election results. Leave it to Florida to screw up an election. That one will work after we get through, Chris. Anyways, Chris, say hi. Which one is that? Okay, I don't know. Chris, say hi. Where's the hand at? The thumb. There's Mr. Thumb. South Park has a hand. We have the thumb. Say hi, Marie.
Hi, y'all.
And Tammy and Cameron are working in the backgrounds over in Tampa, and they're not hooked up to a mic right now. Anywho, Broward County, you have Miss Nikki Snipes. Miss Snipes is, and we're not going to put any pictures up of her. I'm going to go through this pretty quick. But Miss Snipes was already with election fraud. Anna says, hi, Tammy and Travis. And my daughter just joined in. Do we have a picture of my daughter yet? Okay, I'm going to find a picture of you, Cheyenne, and put it up so everybody can see how pretty you are. Anyways, the election results were messed up again in Broward and Dade County. Okay, now this Miss Snipes, just for you guys that don't know, she is a Democrat, by the way. I hate to say that, but the election results, it started out with Governor Rick Scott having a 60,000 vote lead. Then it dropped to 2,000. And here's the funny thing. The election results that are in, with the amount of people that voted, is 3-1. Democrats 3 over Republicans 1. And that's what it came in as the vote. Broward County actually only has 2-1. So how can that be? I don't understand it, especially since all the people that registered to vote pretty much voted down there. So Miss Snipes has already been busted once for destroying election results. Hey, Desiree, how you doing? And Debbie, I see you. And Mama B. Mama B is out there. I got to give my shout-outs. Let's put up one of Lee, to my friend Lee. This is one of my best friends, Lee. Find that picture, crazy picture of Tammy, by the way, so we can let the people that don't know what Tammy looks like see. Okay, but anyways, back onto the election results. So you've got two. You got the Senate, and you've got the governor's race. They are both screwed up big time. So I guess we'll find out in probably a couple of weeks. This is not the first time, though, Ms. Snipes has gone through this. And she refused to show Governor Rick Scott or anybody, which is against the law, what the results were or have them in there when they were counting, doing the recount on it. And there's tons of votes that are still showing up. They only have 30 minutes after the election. This is this lady's one and only job. And how you screw that up, I don't know. You work on it, for what, 2 years, 4 years in some cases, and you can't get it right. She should have been fired. She should actually be in jail right now. So let's see what else we have. And then I'm going to just throw this. The judge had ordered her today to have Rick Scott and the Democrats and the Republicans. Now, this is a bipartisan thing. Both parties want to get in. Both parties want to find out. You have Gilman that wants to know, and you have Rick Scott that wants to know. You have Senator Bill Nelson, and you have DeSantis that want to know. So it's on both sides, it's both parties. So hopefully they get this stuff straightened out and quit screwing it up. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Tammy should be up there somewhere. There it is. Here's my friend Tammy. She's coming up. Chris is getting her up on the screen. See Tammy? Tammy's my best friend. She's crazy. As you can see, look at the crazy in the eyes. You people that keep writing into her, and bashing her for what she writes on the Putman Way have no idea what she's capable of. You better back off real quick. Okay, the thing that's really pissing me off, we have the RCMA program in Pomona Park. And this is a facility that houses or educates about 60 kids. We found out last week or the week before last that they are going to shut it down because of lack of funding. Now, here's what happens. I talked to the powers that be down at the RCMA down in South Florida last evening. I spent about an hour on the phone with them. Really nice ladies, both of them that I was talking to. And they're going to shut it down because of lack of funding. Now, the reason there's lack of funding, they get the same budget every year. And, okay, before I do that, let me stop right here and put a picture of my daughter up. Or do you have it yet, Chris? When I tell you guys my daughter is really pretty, that's my daughter, Cheyenne. She's supposed to be on the show here in a couple of weeks. She's wanting to maybe get into radio. She's funny as all get out. You guys are going to have to listen to her. She cracks me up. Has been since she was born. Since the first time she called her mom come into the bathroom. And she goes, Mommy, Daddy called you, I probably shouldn't say this, a stinking bitch. Now, this is years ago, and she was aggravating me. And so I don't know how she heard this. It might have been something I said in the garage. I don't know. I was a lot younger than this, 20 years ago now. And so she goes, Mommy, are you stinking bitch? And she goes, no, sweetheart, we don't say that word. My ex-wife, my wife at the time, walks out of the bathroom, has the camcorder still running, and my daughter looks over at the door, doesn't see her, and goes, bitch. But she's not like that anymore. She is funny, though. Got a picture of her dog, too. She just got a new dog. She called me up and told me had met the love of her life, and I thought she was talking about a young man. Believe it or not, as pretty as she is, she doesn't have a boyfriend. But today I had to babysit, and this is after I got done with him. He had ice cream, got to run around over by the horse pastures and stuff, came in and collapsed on the floor. That's funny. Okay, the RCMA program. Over by the horse pastures and stuff. What is that?
I think we were testing, making sure audio was consistent.
Okay. All right. The RCMA program is set up, and it's set up to help kids out for Head Start, preschool, and that kind of thing. They also take infants over there. Now, I'm not going to get into a whole lot of details tonight because to me it's a bunch of crap. Now, what happens with the RCMA program is they're state funded, federal funded, I believe. And they're given so much money, their budget seems to stay the same every year. but there's a lot of people that apply for this program. And I'm not sure if the program's in Putnam County. But the thing was not supposed to be shut down in Pomona Park, from what I understand. And then the woman who is over the district here, I'm going to go ahead and say her name. Her name is Linda Hagan. I called Miss Hagan up. She was quick to get off the phone with me and tell me I had to call her boss. She did not want to explain why the program's getting shut down. Okay. Parents are calling me, and I actually stood beside one parent. Now, this is nothing personal, Miss Hagan. If you are listening, this is nothing personal. But your job is to keep the parents informed. I found this out because I talked to your bosses, and they said it was a matter of the information that I was looking for, or the information the 60 parents are looking for. They said there must be some miscommunication. There's no miscommunication when you don't communicate with them. And I stood there right there yesterday when a mother of a child called you up, and she asked me if I knew what's going on, and I said, no, not yet. The only one that I have is Miss Linda Hagan. That's her name, correct?
Yes.
So I get Miss Hagan on the phone. She doesn't talk to me. This mother calls her up. She says, got real short with the mother, and then told her, well, you're going to have to call such and such. When she asked for the number, she hung up on her. This is the same response that I'm getting from parent time after time after time. Now, the RCMA program, like I said, it's a head start, and it gets kids ready for the future to go into first grade, second grade, and all that for the rest of their life. Now, this program is being shut down on June 1st. Next Wednesday night at, I believe it's 7?
6.
At 6? Okay, at 6 p.m. next Wednesday night at the Pomona Park Community Center. When you get to, if you're coming from North Putnam on 17, you'll get into the big town of Pomona Park, which is one stoplight there. It's not even a stoplight, it's a flashing light. That is Main Street by the Kangaroo. You make a left on the same side as the post office. You go down one block, and it's going to be on the left-hand side at the stop sign. And I hope a bunch of you people will show up. And it's not a matter of saving this center anymore, but we got an idea on what we can do. But we need your help. It cannot be done. This program is going to be shut down. Now, from what I understand from the people at the RCMA down in South Florida, is that the center will be reopened because they're going to go for more funding under a different funding package, because they've got this one funding package there, and you've got different groups like, I don't know, Putman Edge is doing it, but the different groups that go after the money in Tallahassee, it takes away from this program. Now, I'm going to get into a bunch of stuff later on after I meet with these parents and after I get all the information from Tammy. I think there's some, I don't know how this place can be run on that much money and then it be shut down. I mean, the numbers are phenomenal to me. Maybe they got a good excuse, maybe they don't. But I just don't see where it takes that much money to run this place. So now they're going to get the same amount of money in their budget, but they're going to have less centers open up now, which means that money's going to be somewhere. Now, if they do get less money, it's not going to be a whole lot less, but there's different groups applying for these grants. So now RCMA, they told me that they're going to make sure that the kids are housed, and they're going to make sure that they get to another RCMA program. But it has to be within a certain mileage, and I believe it's 5 miles. Here is the problem with that, which is a load of malarkey to me. There's one RCMA center in Crescent City. The place is at capacity, and they said, yeah, but there'll be kids moving on in first grade. Even with that, there's 60 kids over there. So if 20 of them are pre-K, or 30, because I know there's infants and toddlers there, these kids are going to get shifted over to Crescent City. Now, how are they going to get shifted over when the place is going to be at capacity? Because now one of the best daycare centers that was up there, Stepping Stones, is no longer in existence. It is now shut down. So where are they going to put these kids? My projection is there's going to be 80 kids, 60 to 80 kids that are not going to get an education. In the meantime, RCMA program is going to be taking the same building, but they're going to be putting infants and toddlers, and they call it the, let me make sure I get this right here, the Early Head Start Expansion Program. And under the Early Head Start Expansion Program, it will just list infants and toddlers, which I don't know how you're going to take an infant and get them ready for first grade. It is at 200, the meeting is going to be at 200 East Main Street in Pomona Park. And I'm not sure what that number is because they don't need to call that. We're just going to be
No, that's if
there.
they need directions there.
Coming into Pomona Park from Palaca, make a right, and it's down on the right. Now, if you're coming in from Palaca, Desiree, it'll be on the left. If you're coming in from Crescent City, you're going to make a right. And hello, Sue Bennett. Okay, Desiree said she was the parent president from 08 to 09 and raised $1,500 through fundraising. Well, here's the budget that their RCMA is saying, and it takes, Desiree and you other guys listening, gals, $500,000 a year, $500,000 to do that program over there. I don't see it, but my things could be off. When I punch the numbers, I'm coming up with about $300,000. $350,000 would cover. Oh my God, that would cover everything. That would cover diapers. That would cover meals, fuel. Now, the RCMA program, I'm not going to bash it because they do take kids, young kids that need their shots, that need to go see a dentist and other places. Whatever they need, they pretty much take them there to get it done. But $500,000, I don't see where $500,000 goes, especially when the building is only $1 a year rent, from what I understand. Pomona Park and the mayor over them graciously add that. $1 a year. Now, I'm hoping that's the right number, but even if it's not, it's still cheap. And I'm pretty sure it's $1 a month, or $1 a year, or a month, whatever it is. Still $1. I don't see where $500,000 goes on this place. Now, what I'm going to propose Wednesday night, you guys and gals are going to be there, need to be there because it's going to take everybody in Putnam County to get behind this and not necessarily to donate to it. I've got a couple of people in mind that I'm trying to get through to. Now, another thing about RCMA program is there's only 2 accredited RCMA programs within a 50-mile radius. And I haven't checked, I haven't got all the numbers back in, but there's no other preschools within a 50-mile radius that are accredited from what I can find now. There might be 1 or 2. If there is, you guys write in and let me know. But like Desiree said, this is some BS. How in the hell are you going to take, now these kids, and Tammy's writing an article right now about it, and she's done the research and stuff on it. The Head Start program, it shows that there's, the kids have a better start. They're not held back in the grades. There's less crime, and they're not getting in trouble. And they learn social skills from being there. Now, it's going to be up to the parents at this Pomona Parks, in the Pomona Park area now. The RCMA say that they're going to pick these kids up and make sure they get to a program. I'm calling foul on that because I just don't see where they're going to put them.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
If they're so worried about this money issue, isn't it going to cost a bunch of money in buses and salaries for people to do this? I mean, wouldn't it be better just to keep the kids where they're at?
Yeah, but from what I see, Deborah House said she's watching from Satsuma. Welcome, Deborah. Yeah, but see, that, to me, it doesn't make sense. Now,
None of it does.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think what they're doing, wanting to do, if they shut this down, okay, they're going to be able to get, because there is a new funding going on through the, what did I do with it again? Through the Early Head Start Expansion Program, or grant, not program, the Early Head Start Expansion Grant. They can come up with the same amount of money, but it will not be a preschool. So I'm calling foul on this because why wouldn't, if you're getting the same amount of money from Early Head Start program, why not just go ahead and apply for the funding at the same time? You know, guys and gals, what I see a lot of the time is people spend so much time and effort, and their job is to keep these places open, to go fight for the funding. Now they're telling me, oh, you know, we only get so much. There's only so much money in there. When it's for the kids, you go up and you see Governor Rick Scott, or you go see any of the congressmen and senators and get with them and do your freaking job. They're going to find the extra funding. Tell them to take it and quit seeing how fast ketchup will spread. You know, quit spending it. You know, they're blaming Rick Scott for the red tide and stuff, and now they're spending billions on this. You know what? That red tide has been there. I've lived in Florida all my life. Every year the freaking red tide bloom happens. It is a natural occurrence in the water. When the water gets too hot, and yes, there is some chemical runoff that does cause it and does add to it, but instead of spending billions on that, why don't you try spending billions on the freaking kids? You know, this is bullcrap. Our veterans and our kids, spending billions on that and quit worrying about the freaking ocean that does this crap every year. Put moratoriums in place to cut back the fertilizers like they did in Sarasota and Bradenton counties, Manatee counties. They made people quit fertilizing during the summer months when it's hot. That way there was no runoff. And the algae bloom went way down. That's easy to do. And there's natural chemicals. These companies have gone to them. Lawn Masters over out of Sarasota that my brother worked for 22 years. They just switched chemicals. They went with all natural chemicals. I believe it was horse crap, cow manure, or whatever. But they mixed in stuff and urea formaldehydes. Yes, it was a little more expensive, but they overcame it. You know, and then you got a company like Becker Phosphate over there, who years ago, their phosphate dams there broke, went out into the bay, which they knew it was. They get fined $400 freaking dollars. That's it. Sarasota Bay was considered a dead zone for fish for at least 20 years that I know of. I know because I lived there, and I used to fish those waters, and they completely destroyed it. Gary Black said, amen, my friend. How you doing, Gary? So, anyways, they could take the freaking money. And you want to see what's pissing me off, and it should be pissing you guys and gals off too. They could take the freaking money from dumb bull crap. I'm trying to watch my mouth because I know my daughter and a few other kids are listening. Instead of taking that money and doing the money where it should go, instead of senators and congressmen, you know, you let people on the left and right bitch and moan and groan about elections and stuff. Take their checks away from them. Make them do the right thing. Don't give them anything until they provide for our veterans. They provide for our first responders who only get regular $4 or $8 a call to go out. Treat the people right, and then you know what? Everything else will come around. But to shut this damn program down is a bunch of crap. And I'm calling foul on it. They're going to shut it down to make a freaking daycare. We need daycares, and we need toddler things. But this place already has daycare and toddler.
Well, what's going to happen to the toddlers when they need a daycare, or when the daycare when they need their Head Starts?
When they need Head Start, guess what? They're going to have to go apply.
We've got a program for you when you're 2, but I don't have a program when you're 3 or 4 because we took it down to make something for the 2-year-olds.
Yeah, but
why can't the kids at home? I mean, I understand there's a lot of working parents, but why can't there be more parents at home working with the kids? But my biggest thing is with this is the trajectory. They're projecting their numbers, but they're not coming into the communities and seeing what's right. Anybody can put numbers on paper, but until you come in and learn the community and, you know, see what's really there, I mean.
Well, you were right there yesterday in the office when I was talking to them.
Yep.
And I said, there's 2 daycares that shut down.
Yep.
Here in the last few months. Oh, we didn't know that. Well,
Exactly.
Of course you don't know it because you're all the way
trajectories.
down in Miami living in your $1 million freaking homes. I don't know if they're living in $1 million homes,
Come
but they're
meet
living
the community.
down.
Meet the needs of the community. But you
Yep.
have to come to the community to meet the people in the community, or else you're not going to get anywhere. Trajectories on a papers on a number don't mean anything. When you meet the people and see what's going on, the way the economy goes up and down, businesses are closing every day.
Well, yeah, we're the poorest freaking county in the state now for what, 6 years?
Yeah.
Probably longer. And these parents at Pomona Park, now listen, guys and gals, I was told, not by them, but by asshole person, that, well, the parents should go get jobs, and in that way they could get their vehicles and take them up there. A lot of these parents don't have jobs. They live in the poorest county, and jobs are few and far between here. Businesses, to see them shutting down every day. 1 or 2 businesses open up. We have a brewery. You know, they spend millions on 40 jobs that are going to get paid back, hopefully. That works out under the Purple Project. But there's very few jobs in Putnam County. And with the Fort Gates Ferry being out, which is another thing I'm going to be bitching about here in a
Since
second.
Hurricane Irma.
Yeah. Let me make a thing so I don't forget it here. God damn, I got pissed off and I forgot where I was at. Oh, these kids, some of these
parents with
parents.
the jobs.
Now, I drive by there all the time. The morning, afternoon, I'm all over the county reporting and covering stuff. I see parents walking with their kids with double strollers and stuff going back and forth. In the mornings, they'll get up early in the mornings and they take their kids there so they can get an education. These are good parents. They get their butts out of bed and they take their kids right on over to the daycare or to the pre-K so they can get an education. If they can't, and like the lady said, well, we're going to bus them over there. Yeah, where are you going to put them again? Where are you going to put them? You have Crescent City. It's 16 miles to the other RCMA, all the way up in Palaca. I don't see where they're going to put all the kids in between here and Palaca.
Well, you said that there was a holding, and there's already what?
There's already 20
waiting?
kids. Yeah.
And there's how many kids they just lost out of the daycare that just shut down, plus another daycare that shut down. All those kids are going to be waiting.
Over
and then
Stepping Stones? You got
Yeah.
like 40, 50 kids over there, I believe.
Right, so you're going to have those kids waiting, plus you're going to have
Yep.
all these kids waiting. So where do they plan to put all these kids?
And the other
Because
daycare-
Crescent City's one building. It's not. They're not saying expanding our community. They're saying expanding a Head Start program that we don't need at this very second. I mean, they're projecting we need it, but we have something that is working that we need to keep open.
Yeah, and when the parents have to walk there, and now they're saying they're going to bus them, okay, they're going to bus them to a daycare where they're already overcrowded, bull crap, because there's already 20 kids on the waiting list to get into the one in Pomona Park.
Yeah.
Now, Kendra was real nice when she was on here the other night. She was talking about what a wonderful program it is.
Yeah.
She hates to see it shut down. I would have been freaking livid to know that my kids are not going to have a place to go and be educated. Mm-hmm. And you guys and gals should be, I mean, just extremely pissed off.
What happened to the
William
meeting the
wrote
other
in
night?
exactly. Putman really needs it.
What happened
No.
to the meeting the other night we were supposed to have?
Well, yeah, the other night I was supposed to have a meeting over at RCMA with the parents so that I could explain to them. Me and my crew could show up there. We were going to do a live feed from there.
These parents who are walking to this.
And the parents were walking to the school. They knew in advance that we were going to have this meeting there to talk to the parents. Now, why Miss Linda Hagan didn't come over there and explain to the parents is beyond me, especially since this has
I mean,
been
she can
for
make
a
a
few
mass
weeks now.
note and send something home.
She could have come over there because she's known about this. It's over a month now that they've known the place is going to shut down, leaving the parents in limbo. Don't answer the phone, you know. Anyways, Miss Hagan does not show up over there. Then at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, a few hours before we're going to have the meeting, 4 hours before the meeting, after the flyers had already been passed out. Where's one of the flyers here? After these flyers had already been hung, and we misspelt November on purpose. When you don't get an education, that's how they will be spelling November. November. Okay? These flyers were already hanging up, were already passed out to the parents for people to show up. 4 hours before we're to have the meeting, we're shut down and told we cannot do it. Now, why? We're trying to get information out, not cause a stir, not cause a riot, not cause any people to go out and be malice and be a bunch of a-holes.
No, we're trying to stop it from
Just
happening.
the parents want information. Miss Hagan, you should do your job and get over there and explain to them. I wouldn't suggest showing up there on Wednesday night, though, because it's not gonna. Rick Bobby, how you doing, Ricky? Let's see, he's just joined in. But these parents, and if I missed your name going in, this thing is like a ticker tape, so I can't get everybody's name. Kathy Hamlin joined, William Sessions, Rick Bybee, Deborah Howe, Gary Black. Anyhow, it's a great program, and I'm just calling foul on it. I don't see where the money's going. I don't see why it's being shut down, except for funds. Now, you know, the one thing that pisses me off more than anything, guys and gals, people spend so much time bitching and complaining about, oh, it's got it so bad, and da-da-da, you know, and what are we going to do, and how are we going to do it, and everything else, when in fact, if you spent as much time trying to come up with a solution over there, yeah, go ahead and put this up, Chris. This is the thing for next Wednesday night. Yeah, go ahead and put that up. This is the flyer that's going to be passed out now. So, if they spend as much time bitching and complaining as they do bitching and complaining to find a freaking solution for it, guess what? You wouldn't have 60 kids. On June 1st, 60 kids will lose their education, their way to a doctor, a dentist, and hope for a better future. That includes the parents. You know, they put this, they put all the time and effort into saying it's just shut down and giving it up. Take your butt and drive to Tallahassee, because that's exactly what I'm doing here in the next week or so, as soon as we find out who the new governor is. Because I'm going to go meet
That's
with
another
him.
joke.
Might be Rick Scott.
Isn't this like
And-
deja vu?
I mean,
Starting to feel like
not Rick Scott. It might be DeSantis and Gilman at the same time being split governors. Hell, who knows? The state of Florida is the
yeah, it's
only
like
one.
a deja vu thing, man.
Yeah, didn't you just say that? It's like in the year 2000, you know. 2016, this woman did the same crap. Either way, as soon as we find out who's getting into office, and if Rick Scott's going to be our senator, I will be in his office. And I will be there with a bunch of petitions to have him, and we already have some petitions made up, not to keep the center open, because I don't think that it should be done through RCMA anymore. If they're that quick to give up on it, and if it's all about money and they're not willing to fight for the freaking kids, one center shuts down. One center, that is too many, especially in Pomona Park. And you know what I see out of this whole thing? South Putman, North Putman has been bastardized so much that it's I don't give a crap thing. That school, that RCMA program there was not even on the chopping block until it was put there from another person, from the same person. I'm going to give their name out. I want to make sure I've got my facts straight before I go and tear somebody up here. The same person, their school was on the chopping block. Now, it was St. Augustine, Putnam County, and I believe Jacksonville, and there was a few other places. Pomona Park, which is at capacity, and as accreditation, do you have the accreditation that I was sent?
Yes, give me one moment, please.
You will put that up because I want people to see this. They are accredited. Only 2 schools that are accredited within a 50-mile radius, and they're shutting that one down. That one has a waiting list on it. Their performance is A+. But they picked Pomona Park. Oh, but it's a sight out of mind. Nobody will ever pay attention. Who gives a crap? They're just little kids down there in little Putman, South Putnam County that's already bastardized. You know what? Screw you people. Those people matter.
All kids matter.
These
All
kids' lives
matter.
matters. Their education matters. Them getting to the doctors.
I don't care if you
The
don't
dentist.
have anything. That should be the ones that need more.
That should be exactly it.
It's an education. This is our future. Our children are our future.
Let's see.
You can make it bigger.
Anna wrote, I need some guidance. I'm pretty much blind. Well, the light's coming off here.
I'll read it
Mess
to you,
with
Travis,
my-
so you can read it. From
Okay.
Anna's Hostel, it says, I need some guidance on who to talk to set something up to raise awareness and make a difference in Putnam in regards to our addiction problem. There are a lot of sick people here that need help.
Okay. Yeah, that's another thing. There's a lot of sick people that do need help, and I do have that information. Anna, if you will give me a call, or Tammy a call. Tammy has the information on that. We have a gentleman up in Keystone Heights.
You can message her on the Putnam Way on Facebook. She'll get in touch with you quicker.
Yeah, and Tammy has that information of a great program that's going to be starting up. And it's just for women that have addictions and stuff like that. But let me jump back on this RCMA program. These kids, you know, you hear Black Lives Matters, you know, you hear Police Lives Matters, All Lives Matters, Honky Lives Matters. I saw that on a group's page the other day. Kids' lives matter. Most important, our kids are veterans. Their lives matter. These kids are our future, and these veterans have created us a future. Us in the middle, we can work things out. But more people spend more time bitching and complaining and moaning and groaning and pissing and puking and whining, just freaking whining about how oh, we can't get it done. It's going to be shut down. You know, we couldn't get the funding for them. Bull crap. Get off your asses. Get your butts to Tallahassee and do it. In the meantime, you guys go ahead and show up over at Pomona Park. Now, we did this when Mr. Yance, and which, by the way, another thing that's pissing me off. I can't believe the uneducated voters in Putnam County that voted for Bud McInnes, a guy who gets on his Facebook page and says that Christians that don't, when there's a soup kitchen that is helping people,
Helping children.
and helping children with backpack program during the summer, filling their backpacks up on the weekends, feeding them during the day, 20-something kids, tries to have it shut down, did get it shut down for a month, gets on his thing, and because Mr. Yance, a retired veteran, took his $138,000 from being sprayed with Agent Orange. And Bud McInnes, yes, I am saying this about you. You could try to sue me all you want. These are facts. I deal with only facts. And you call Christians a piece of shit, quote unquote, a piece of shit Christian that would do that. This is a man who fought for his country and is still fighting. A soldier's job is to fight, and our jobs as American citizens is to fight for the freaking needy and the ones that can't fight for themselves. And these little kids, you took money, you took food out of their mouths, even on the weekends for 1 month it was shut down, and you ran for office, and the freaking people in Putnam County did not get together. They got together and they voted for you because you hid your stuff on there. You didn't even have the balls enough to even show up out at the soup kitchen at the meeting to keep the place open. No, all you've been doing is bitching and moaning and groaning and whining and complaining. Once you move your ass out of Putnam County, because I'll tell you something, mister, you don't deserve these kids. And you're not going to fight for them when you already tried to destroy what their food and what they're eating. I hate that Linda Lou Osborne, or Linda Lou, right?
Yes,
Linda Lou Osborne didn't get into office. She was a great lady, and she was wanting to fight for these kids. If you would do that to them before you get into office, God help what's going to happen to these kids when you're supposed to be up there fighting for them. You, mister, have no balls. You should move the hell out of this county. If you would like to meet me down here in the south end of Putnam County, I would love to take you out back. And I am not Joe Biden saying this to Donald Trump. Somebody should take you out and whip your damn ass. You know, you're just, oh, God, I'm trying to watch my mouth so bad here. You are a prick. And try to sue me, I don't care. Greg, if you're listening, I'm going to probably need an attorney after this, but these are all
no, you
facts.
Don't, because it's all facts. When you make a statement on facts, there's nothing that anybody can go back on.
Yeah.
So
And
I
now,
am disappointed in my community for voting
I am
in
too.
office, because the man is obviously not for children yet. He gets voted into the school board.
Here's this thing right here. We're going to put it up
this
right
is
now.
right here. This is his
Bud
words,
McInnes.
not ours.
Yeah. It says, has been Bud McInnes. You think you're all big and bad with your cowboy hat on. You ain't ever seen an Indian. You know what the Indians used to do, the cowboys? It doesn't matter. Anyways, he said, he's talking about Bud McInnes here. Or Bud McInnes is talking about Mr. David Yance. This is our veteran that was, took his Agent Orange money and opened up a new facility for people that didn't have any food and stuff, and they're having a hard time. Not vagrants, not drug addicts, and not child molesters like you're saying, Mr. Yance, or McInnes. He said he has been reported to Tallahassee, the Putnam County Health Department, county commissioners, and the city of Interlachen. Who? Now, let me stop right there. Who reported him? Bud? Or Mud McPenis? Is what one of my readers put up here, that should be called Mud McPenis.
That's not even good enough for him.
No, that's pretty funny, though. Mm-hmm. Not my words, so you go sue them. He says he's been reported to Tallahassee, the Putnam County Health Department, county commissioners, and the city of Interlachen. You know who reported him? Bud McInnes. Mm-hmm. He continues to operate. Say he has plans to establish a homeless shelter too, which is a blatant lie.
Yes, it is.
Bud, that was a blatant freaking lie. I know it was a lie. Mr. Yance never said that. He said this community and this county needs homeless shelters. He never said he was going to. He doesn't have the money. It's enough for him to deliver 60 miles away, all the way down into Pearson, twice a week to make sure that our shut-ins have food all the way over to Ocala, from North Putman to South Putman, out of his own pocket, out of his own frickin' pocket. And it says, I'm sorry, but a Christian, in quotations now, this is your stuff, bud. Here, bucko. I'm sorry, but a Christian who is bucking zoning laws, code, and state agency regulations is a piece of shit. A piece of shit. And then you put sorry after it?
That is your picture in your Facebook that you put up
and
there.
he puts
I know
his-
you pulled it down, but we still have it.
He puts his sorry up. I can't even look at his damn writing anymore. It makes me want to puke. And then he says, he's sorry? No, you're not sorry. You said right there that you went to the health departments, that you've been reported to the state, to the county, and the county, and everybody was applauding this man. Philip Wilkerson said, I voted for Osborne. Good for you, Philip. You know, Bud, you went out of your way to get this place shut down. That was 20 plus kids a day eating there. 20 plus kids, plus veterans, plus a woman that I met there. And if you would have gotten your lazy ass up out of your evening chair and went there, you would have found out that one of the women that got up there stood up there and she said that she's been going to nursing school. And because she's paying for it out of her own pocket, that this helps her out with feeding her kids. She couldn't do it any other way. She has a house. She lives in the community. But she's making a better way for herself. And then you came out with the statement, because I have people that work in the media, and I also have this other, where you said it is taking away from our local restaurants. And a couple of your little dumbass cronies, which you people that are friends with him, you are mental. I hope you don't own
Be
guns.
ashamed.
Yeah, you should be freaking ashamed of yourselves. And I should put your damn names up here. Okay? Then you guys get on there and you say, well, it's taking monies away from our restaurants and local businesses.
If they can afford to
Bullshit.
eat at a restaurant, why are they
Bullshit.
at the school at the
Exactly.
shelter?
If they have
The
to
soup
go
kitchens.
to a shelter to eat, a soup kitchen, then you know what? They can't afford a damn restaurant. And you know what I said when I got up there, and you should really think about this, bud, bucko, is that and I'd love to have you on the radio. Please, for the love of God, come on my show. Our country was founded, the first thing that founded our country was a frickin' soup kitchen. The Indians showed the Pilgrims how to do it. They got together. They grew stuff. The Indians show them, take a piece of fish, slide it under the plant. Guess what? You got fertilizer. The plants grew. They went out and the Pilgrims went out, and the Indians went out and hunted for them. They bring all the stuff back. They sat down on a day called Thanksgiving, which is only in a few weeks from now.
Why do you think they've used the word Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Thanks for
And that's
giving.
what the soup kitchen does day in and day out. Day in and day out. Now, who in the hell are you to take food from people's mouths when they need it? And I'll tell you what happened. It's happened over across the state there. And every day, my IPN thing on my phone, because I get news feeds coming in constantly from all over the state. Over in our neighboring county, they took down and shut down a soup kitchen. And the crime rate has tripled there. Now, if I go out, like Mr. Janssen told me, him and I were having a conversation about this. And, you know, I'm a father, 7 kids, 9 grandkids. If I didn't have a job, and one of the homeless people, let me point this out here real quick. 2 of the people that were in there were homeless. They're living in a tent. They lost their job in Interlaken because one of the businesses shut down. They tried to weather it out. They tried to get jobs because Interlaken is a ways from Plaquemine. And Plaquemine doesn't have any jobs. Putnam County doesn't have any jobs. Our next closest place is Orange Park, which is, 60 miles away. Orlando, which is 100 miles away from them. They're forced to live out in the woods in tents. Their house was foreclosed on. These are not scumbags, and they're not drug addicts. I watched this grown man talk to me outside of this thing, crying because he didn't get to eat for 30 freaking days, him and his wife, because of you. He told me he thought about stealing. He saw some groceries up at Hitchcock's, right up at the corner, in the back of a truck. And he thought about stealing them, but he couldn't bring himself to it. And he said, if this soup kitchen doesn't open up, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to have to commit suicide. Or I'm going to have to become stealing. My grandfather told me something a long time, bud. Criminals aren't born. Society creates them. And when you take food away from a man and his family, when there is a place for them to eat, guess what? You have turned them into a criminal. You're an asshole, dude. You are a freaking asshole. I hope you get impeached out of office. If there is anything I can do to help with that, sign petitions. I'm going to talk to the governor. You shouldn't even have been allowed to run.
Here's a thought. Everybody stood up that day
Christians are a piece of shit.
You know, they stand up and hold the signs, Black Lives Matter, or, you know, Trump stinks, or you know what I mean, all together, just anything in general to hold a sign up for. Why don't they stand up for this? Why doesn't they stand up to Bud McInnes?
I don't know.
Get your facts. Be informed. Before
you
you vote, before you put your pen to paper, you should be informed.
Most of the people probably didn't even know that Bud Wacko there was even running, or Bud Let's Starve the Children. You know what? You probably see him on a commercial sometime. For just $0.25 a day, you could not feed the children. My name is Bud. Please send me money so I can run for office. Not please send me money. And you know what, Bud? You were offered to go there and help serve food and help work there and to feed the very kids that you were going to be representing. You refused it. You turned it down time and time again. Mr. Yant still holds that offer for you. He doesn't hold any animosity toward you. I, on the other hand, do. It's not a matter of hating you. You're an asshole. And I hope somebody, if anybody has Bud McInnes on their thing, please get him to come on here and comment. I'd really like to know why a man that tries to help out kids that are hungry, people that have lost their incomes,
children that he's supposed to be helping,
children he's supposed to be representing. Mm-hmm. I'd like to know how in the hell you can call a man that does something like that. I call him a saint. You guys write in and tell me if you think that Mr. Yance is a saint. I think this man is a saint for what he's done. Took $138,000 of his money where he was messed up from Vietnam. Skin's all messed up. Instead of taking that money that he was owed and spending it on, and probably me, I would have went and bought, or anybody else would have, $138,000. You know what? I'd like to have a new car. I drive around in a 2004 F-350 and a 97 Jeep Cherokee. Oh, man, I love Corvettes. God, I could have bought me a nice 79 L88 Corvette with that. I'd probably been about $20,000 there. I could have been sporting around town. Hell, a couple more Alabama hats. Maybe a new big TV. Nah, Mr. Yance didn't do that. Every penny plus more out of his own pocket went into setting that place up. You're an asshole, dude. You should be kissing that man's butt. Because, what's that? David Gore, Damon Gore, let's see, where am I starting at?
Right there. Keep working your way up.
The mouse is.
Okay. The mouse disappeared. Oh, there it is. It got tangled up in there. Drug addicts are not bad people, Travis. They are just sick. I didn't say they were.
No, keep reading.
I know a lot of drug addicts.
Yeah.
Yes, they do bad things, but when you are sick, you go into survival mode. It's sad that why I'm trying to help cause I was once a sick person. I never said that they were bad people, Anna. I never once said that. Yes, he's an angel. We need more people like him, and you're absolutely right. People should strive to be like him and help people in need. That was Philip. Damien wrote, he's awesome. Lizzie wrote, he needs to go to service food for the people in that community. Yeah, I agree with all that. And by the way, I do work with several programs to help people get over their addictions. You know, they got started into addictions where who knows why they get started into it. Hell, back in the 80s, I was addicted to cocaine. Used to snort $3,000 a week in cocaine. I had a kick-butt job working at the airport. I just up and quit one day. I didn't need a program. I just got tired of doing it. I looked at myself in the mirror. It's not that easy for a lot of people to do that, and I know that. And I agree with you 100%, Anna. That's why we're working with a man up in the pastor I believe you were talking about up in Interlaken. That's why we're going to be working with him and helping get him funds set up. He's a great man, and yes, these programs are needed in Putnam County. Mental health issues are needed in Putnam County, something that April Iser, if she would have gotten in, would have been working on right now, but unfortunately people didn't. Oh, that's all right. I'm always misunderstood. But no, my whole thing was with Yance. And even if they are drug addicts, you know, or homeless, you know, a lot of times when I've met a few people, not all homeless people are drug addicts. I have met some homeless people that will do drugs in order to crave their appetite. They'll bake down Sudafed. I met a few meth heads that the reason that they did that and took speed and stuff, it was cheaper to turn Sudafed and some of these other antihistamines into meth because it cured their craving for hunger. So I understand that now. You know, once they get addicted, it is so hard when you're homeless to get back out on the streets. Now, I was bit in the leg in the early 80s by a shark, and I became homeless because I was in the hospital. By the time I got out of the hospital, months and months and months later, they had already at my apartment complex, and I was a young man at that time. I was surfing down in Costa Rica. By the time I got out of the hospital, the apartment complex had thrown all my stuff away. I had nothing. The sheriff's department over in Hillsborough County had impounded my vehicles. So I had nothing. When I got back to my apartment, nothing. Of course, they didn't know if I was alive or dead. Most of my friends had moved away in the 8 months. And I had nothing. I went to live behind a Crystal's restaurant. Crystal's, you know, little Crystal Burgers. I went and lived behind one of those because it was right near the apartment complex. Had nothing. I stunk for months. I mean, it was a couple months that I was there living in the woods and stuff. Once you get down in that situation and your clothes are dirty, you try to keep as clean as you can. You wash your clothes in mud puddles. You try to sneak up behind the Crystals there, and whatever bar of soap they leave laying on the ground, or if they leave a bucket of mop water out there, you wash your clothes off in it. You put your clothes back on. You rinse them off. And then you try to get on with life. But once you get so far down, it is almost impossible to get back up. But for one guy that showed up back there and was eating his dinner, he was getting ready to go back up north. He'd been down in Tampa for a convention. His mother or his mother-in-law or his wife had had a heart attack. I don't remember what the story was. But he gave me $100 and he had a room at a motel at a Holiday Inn for 3 days. And the guy was so cool after I told him my story that he went and he told him at the Holiday Inn that I'd been helping him at a pig farm and that I was going to be stinking. Well, when I went in there, the girls go, yeah, he was right. You must have got a lot of pig crap on you. Do you need to leave your shoes outside? And I'm like, no. And so I told the girl my story. She went to Lost and Found. The man had given me $100. At the time, there was a TJ Maxx. I was able to go get some clothes, go back to the airport, catch a bus, go to the airport, explain to them what happened. And my boss gave me my old job back. And within a few weeks, I got a storage unit. I slept in a storage unit. I went to work. The guy at the storage unit was cool. I crawled in one of those little boxes. It was all I could afford. $20 a month. But I'd crawl in there. It was like a coffin. And I had my sodas in there and my Burger King, my McDonald's and stuff like that. Because of that one guy helping me and that $100 and that 3 nights at a motel, I was able to get back on track in life. A lot of these people, that's all they need. You know, these kids coming up, how are they going to know what to do? They're going to lose their education. Mr. Yance out there, he's doing everything in his power to keep these people fed. A lot of these people don't want to be there. I've only met a couple of homeless people that really want to be homeless, you know, and they were nuts. They were mentally gone. Yeah. Not through their own doing, I'm sure, but because of life and stressing out. But they were mentally toast. They couldn't handle society. One of them was a cop who had PTSD so bad he thought that the government and everybody else was out to get him because he got his head caved in during a fist fight when he got attacked up north. He wanted to be homeless because he couldn't deal with society and he couldn't deal with anything else.
You know, you and I were discussing the other night, Travis. You know, we were talking about, you know, helping people and doing things for others. And you and I were discussing, that, you reach a point where you don't help anybody. And I said, you know what? The reason why I keep doing what I do, no, everybody says do unto others what you want done unto you. I look at it this way. If I keep getting stuck in the back by everybody, I'm the one person. I might be the only person. I had a friend the other day that came to me and she says, you're the one person that's been a true friend to me. Everybody else says they're my friend, but they stab me in the back. And you gotta remember, you can either keep doing unto others, or you can be the no matter where it goes, at the end of the day that you did what's right. And you got to remember to do that and move forward, because I got to live myself at the end of the day. So.
Well, Anna wrote, read what Anna wrote. Can you see your screen?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
I can get Anna's, and I'll let you read Philip's.
Okay.
It says, and what you. And
she's actually put down, yes, mental health and addiction go hand in hand.
No, she wrote. Right
and then she wrote in, and you know what's sad? Most people walk by and don't even stop to help because there's a stigma that they are bad people. We need more love and understanding in this world.
Now, let me stop you there before we read Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
One of my buddies up in New York, now I've been a writer and reporting and stuff for about 40 years now, give away my age. Oh, and by the way, for all you guys that wished me happy birthday the other day on the 7th, thank you. I couldn't get back to you. There was some, I don't know, umpteen thousand things I couldn't answer each one. But so I'm thanking everybody in bulk. Yes, I'm an old man now. I'm 57 years old.
Woo, happy birthday.
Hey, I can finally get stuff at Denny's. I get my $6 plate now.
You earned that, right?
And the movie theater, too. I went to the movies with my kids. My kids are like, why are you getting the movies? Why are you asking them for the senior discount, Gramps? Because. But what she was just saying there is that, one of my buddies up there in New York, he put up a sign, and it says, and he was doing to see what kind of reaction, because him and I had been talking, and he wanted to see what kind of response he would get out of people. So he put, homeless people suck. Now, this is one of those cardboard apron type signs that he, I think they call them Apple signs or whatever. He put it in front of him, and it said, homeless people suck. They all should die. And people started spitting on him and telling him to F off and everything else, and throwing stuff at him, spraying water on him, kicking him, smacking him around and stuff. And then a few days later, Kevin went back out on the streets of New York, in downtown New York, and he put a sign on that says, for 10 cents, help me feed the homeless. On the back it says, I know you have 10 cents. Help me feed the homeless. He collected $1.26 in 8 hours. People are quick to say, yeah, don't cuss out the homeless. Don't talk about the homeless. They're not bad people, blah, 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 blah. But when it comes time to get involved, they fall few and far between. That's why I was bringing up this point. What Philip wrote here says, I try to help when I can. I paid for a single mother food in the store, a mentally impaired man, while everybody stood and watched him. All he wanted was Gatorade, mixed, what does it say? Mixed cursing at him in Walmart. I walked up and paid for his stuff and got applauded, but the 10 people before me that got mad because he was talking, or he was taking a while. I got to scoot up on this, Philip, and the rest of you guys. My screens, I've got 6 screens in front of me. I've got a lot of glare in my glasses.
I can read it. Could have done it before me.
Okay, just start for the whole thing, because I'm pretty sure I hacked that one up pretty good.
That's okay. Chris, can you pull it down just a little bit? I can't see it from where I'm sitting. So I try and help when I can. I've paid for a single mother's food in the store. A mentally impaired man, while everyone stood and watched him, all he wanted was Gatorade mix, cussing at him in Walmart. I walked up and paid for his stuff and got an applaud. But the 10 people before me that got mad because he was taking a while could have done it before me. I've bought homeless vets food. When I got it, I've tried my best to help and always have. But some people act like they're better than others. You don't know the situation, but there's a lot of people who think that they're better than others. Amen.
Yeah, thanks for doing that, brother. Yeah. It makes a big difference.
Thank you.
And a lot of you guys and gals, and I've been guilty of it myself in the past, until I got involved a lot with the homeless and these people standing on the side of the roads here, where you see them standing every day. Those aren't really true homeless people. homeless people, the real homeless people, aren't out begging
No, they're actually humble.
and stealing. I mean, they might get caught in Walmart trying to make a sandwich like the one guy was over there. But Scott over at the Walmart over there, I'll tell you what, the guy Scott at Walmart in our community is amazing. This guy didn't have him thrown in jail. You know, and from what I understand, I didn't hear this from Scott. He's a humble man. He would never tell me this, but I did have somebody tell me. And this doesn't mean that you guys and gals can go in there and make a freaking sandwich while you're walking down the aisle and eat it. You're probably going to go to jail. But he didn't throw the guy in jail. That's a true homeless people. People that are out begging, look at their shoes. Look at their backpacks. Yeah,
Look at
they'll
their
have on
watches.
some dirty jeans. The one that I think you were riding with me the one day when I had to go cover some stuff over in Palaca and talk to him. It was when we picked up the boots that
Yes.
Scott had donated for the
Yes.
firefighters through Walmart after Tammy got a hold of corporate and everything. Anyways, the guy standing there, and I collect watches. I have nice watches. Anybody want to buy me a watch and send it to me? Please feel free. I love watches. And the first thing I notice on a person is their watch. And this guy had a watch. It was a $250 watch.
Mm-hmm.
Now tell me how in the hell he's walking there with a $250 watch and homeless with no job. And then I followed this guy, one guy over, and he's filling up in his truck, which is a hell of a lot newer than mine. He's taking one of those 5-gallon Zephyr Hills bottled water containers. That thing was slap full of change, and I watched him sit there at his truck, and I would put pictures of him up, but because it was where the business it was taken at, I don't want to humiliate them. He had a wad of money like this thick. My pocket's about that big.
I think I live paycheck to paycheck lately, but you know what? I'm always there to help everybody else because I know I've been there and I've needed help and they've helped me, so I'll always pay it forward.
Yeah, and this guy wasn't homeless. I
No,
followed
he
him to his house, and he lived right out past Walmart there in a nice house in a rich section out there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was 5 or 6 of them living together, and that's what they do. You'll find them up in front of our grocery stores in East Palaca. You'll find them in front of the big chain of grocery stores, and all in Palaca there. And you go to St. Augustine, you drive by there every day. It's the same guys, the ones that are at the exit ramps. And then you watch them. Just sit there and watch them for a few hours. Watch what they do with their money.
Oh, my favorite was the other day. I had a friend a neighbor that you caught outside of Walmart saying he was a disabled veteran. That man is not a veteran. He had pretty much pawned everything he had and didn't have anything left, and he was out there trying to get money and lying about being a veteran. That one about threw me over the wall. So
Well, my kids were with me the one day when I told the guy, I said, watch this. Because my daughter was saying, well, you need to give him some money. I don't know if you remember this. I know Cheyenne's listening right now. Okay, yeah, she was saying, I'll read those in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, because somebody just commented about buying food and stuff. I'll get into that story in a minute. There was a guy, and I followed this guy. Now I got this food thing on my hand.
Mm-hmm.
But I went up and asked him. I said, hey, man, you need a job. At the time, that was when I owned a construction company and a few car lots and a few other businesses. And I had a nursery, plant nursery. It was 25 acres. And I said, hey, I need some people to work over there. I'll pay you a decent salary when I have a trailer in the back that you can live in. And he goes, F you, I got a job here. And I said, well, you know, you're gonna make $700 a week over there working in the nursery. And he goes, psh, I make that in a day. And so when I watched this guy give him food in front of me, which Liz was saying that she buys food and she doesn't give him money. I watched this guy at one of Philip wrote Walmart has a few that do it regularly. Yeah, and Scott usually gets them out of there pretty quick. But I watched people walk up and hand this guy McDonald's, and there were some hedges there, and the guy just threw his food right over the hedges. It was like there was bags. I walked behind the thing when my kids were with me. Cheyenne could ride in and tell them. I'll get her on the air to talk about this. There was like 10 or 15 bags of food back there. And, you know, that doesn't mean don't give these guys and gals food. I mean, there might be a few homeless. There's a woman in East Palaca who stands out there every day.
use your brain.
and you watch her at the end of the day. Just go and watch these people. Watch them for a couple hours and watch when they get tired and there's no cars really coming through. They'll go over and sit in a nice vehicle in the parking lots and then just go over and ask them for your money back. Say, yeah, I marked a dollar bill in there. I'd like it back, please. And watch them. Anywho, I think we have ran out of time.
We are at the
What-
end. Did you want to
I wanna
cover
stay
those
on for a couple
topics? There was some
minutes.
messages that were sent to you. Do you want to cover those real quick?
Okay, which one is that one?
About 5 or 6 back, and then we can work our way up.
Anna wrote, I lost a lot of respect for a man who I know isn't homeless and rides a Harley. I saw him at Walmart. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about on that. And I don't blame you there. There's a guy in a green truck that's running around over here. He is a child molester. He is a
Amen,
known
Anna.
child molester, known as a pedophile list. And if you go, there's a store that he hangs out with, and the guy has some money, and he lives right down the road from me. He is a known child
Thank you,
molester,
Philip.
and he sits there and he gets food, but he collects a check from the state, and he stands out there and begs all the time. I think what I'm going to do is go follow him and take pictures of him, send it to the state so they cut his funds off, because that's bullcrap. You got hardworking people in Putnam County.
Yeah, we're not saying don't help. We're just saying be cautious and,
Yeah, no, Liz, that's a good thing you're doing, because there are some people over in some of the counties, and I do know some of the homeless people that will stand out there from time to time that do need it. John, he's one of my buddies. He's homeless. He is now living up in South Carolina, and he was a veteran. He had a big cancer lump on his stomach, and we got him into a facility. Finally got him to actually go to the VA. Drove him over. They sent him up to South or North Carolina. We got his daughter to come down. She took him back and got him at a cancer facility up there. So if you people are wondering where homeless John is at, they used to hang out in front of the Sunoco in East Palaka. He is up at the hospital. He did have the cancer removed. Yeah, it's a 50-50 shot with him.
thank you to all of you who help and take care of our community. That's what life's about. God made more than one person so we could help take care of each other.
Yeah, Philip wrote in that Walmart has a few that do it regularly, and he's absolutely right about there. Cassie wrote about the man you said was. Can you see that one?
Let me see.
I don't know. I've got too much glare coming off these screens. It's hit my bifocals. You people can probably see it in my
About
glasses.
the man you said was desperate, thought about stealing food from a truck. Had I known about that, I would have fed them. I've been very down and out and in tears being so hungry. I would love to help someone eat a meal even for Thanksgiving. I'm open to helping out, giving back for all those who helped my family. I actually left you a message underneath that, Cassie, if you want to contact Tammy right here in the Putnam Way. So just send her a message real quick, and Tammy would be happy to help you help others. So.
Well, also, is it Station 4 had contacted me the other day? Is it Keystone or Interlochen that needs 16 turkeys to feed people out there? I know Mr.
I
Yance
do believe it was Interlochen, but don't hold me to it. I'm sorry.
over at the soup kitchen. Normally, I don't give Winn-Dixie props here, but I will tell you guys and gals, if you go to Winn-Dixie and get a flu shot right now, which if you're on Medicaid or if you have insurance, if you don't, it's $35. They will give
Thank
you
you,
a
Cassie.
free turkey. Mr. Yance needs
Thank you,
at
Philip.
least 16 turkeys out at the soup kitchen, or I say the Thanksgiving house. He needs about 16 turkeys, and he needs donations all the time. You guys want to put it to a good organization, to him. Call up your local fire departments. If you don't have one, or if you want to donate a turkey, call me up. We'll come out and pick it up. Or if you want to go purchase one at Walmart or any of the other grocery chains, we will take it up and make sure it gets out to the firefighters out at station, I think it's 4. I've got to look. It should be on my phone. Tammy, do me a favor. Give me that information, because I know it got sent over to you so I can announce it on Monday night. But they need turkeys desperately. And so do a bunch of other people. If you guys want to donate turkeys, I think we're about 10 or 15 short now. for the families that need it. We usually
Yeah.
pass out a few thousand turkeys. I'm not sure which one it is. Maybe Francis Fire Department. Is it Mark? I don't know. Tammy, he sent you the information. I know Tammy's listening in tonight. And Tammy is going to be doing a Zen Lemon Tree site here pretty soon. Philip wrote, yes, always food, not money. I bought a few coolers and filled them up for a few and some folding chairs. Now, we do have some kids that are at the high schools that Tammy put up free traditional holiday meal Thanksgiving Day, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. downtown Interlochen First Baptist Church. Need a meal delivered, call Jason. The phone number is up here, 352-225-6429. That's for our shut-ins. Good food and great company, all invited. Okay, you might want to give them a call and ask them if they're needing any more turkeys, because there's a lot of people that listen to this show. What video is that up there? The what?
That's the ending.
That's the ending.
Oh, the
That's
ending?
that's our sponsors for the show, the people that help us keep this show going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that works too.
Said you were getting ready to
Oh, my sister Laura is listening up in Alabama where it's cold. You guys say a prayer for the people out in California tonight, man. Those fires are raging out there. 1,000 acres per minute, right?
Yes,
per
they
hour.
said it was about 10 football fields per minute earlier.
That's
the last
huge.
I had heard.
There's
That is
houses
huge.
out there burning up in that Malibu.
We are
and
praying
stuff.
for everybody out there.
Yeah, I mean, my sister said, happy Thanksgiving, or hey, big brother, happy birthday. You didn't call me, Lori. You forgot. Station 22 in Francis is
Sponsoring that meal, the
is
holiday meal.
sponsoring that meal. Yeah, they need, I believe that's the one that needs the 16 turkeys.
Yes, and
So-
Tam will be posting a flyer up on the Putnam Way to keep you all informed. So just keep watching the Putnam Way on Facebook every day, and we've always got something new happening.
And my sister wrote, it's 42 degrees here. Lori, you got to be on the show next Friday night, because I'll have Cletus in here. Should be pretty
Actually,
funny.
next Friday night we also have the special needs kids are coming in. All I Want for Christmas. They'll be here Friday night.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, man, you guys
Special
are guys, you
Olympics.
got to listen to these kids.
You do not want to miss
I-
next Friday night. This is going to be so much fun.
I love these kids. Oh my God, they have Down
Mm-hmm.
syndrome, and they are in the Special Olympics. They went out to up to Washington, I believe, and they took all kinds of awards, bowling, volleyball, all
This
kinds
is
of
our
stuff.
local kids here, guys, the Putnam County.
These are local kids in Putnam County, but it doesn't matter.
you,
These special need kids.
Thank you, David.
Thanks, Dave Driggers. You do a great job. Like the topics. Cool beans. I appreciate you listening, brother. These special needs kids are the bomb now. I think we're going to have, 4 of them in the studio?
I think they're looking at 4 if everything goes right. So
Now, I'm going to tell you because I know they're not listening. Wait, what time is it? Yeah, they're in bed right now. If you have kids right now, send them out of the room because I don't want them to hear this. I'll give you, let's extend the show for a few more minutes because I want to tell these people about this. You guys are going to love this. Santa Claus needs some help this year for the phone lines to call in. We have a dedicated phone line that we're going to set up, and Santa Claus will be answering, and we do this every year. I used to have a man that did it from a convalescent home. He would help Santa come on the air, and he would get on there. And the guy didn't want to do it at first, and his name was John. And after he did it, there were so many kids calling in, and the guy was just miserable. I mean, of course, he's sitting there in a nursing home, hating life. You know, he's dying, and didn't want to be bothered with anything. So I just talked him into it. And he goes, I'll do it for one night, and then you got to find somebody else. I said, just one night. That's all I need. We did it. Then I couldn't get him away from the thing. He couldn't wait for the next year. And he did it for us for 3 years.
yes,
John passed away last year. And before he passed
and
away,
we would love to have you. Can you private message the IITW radio, please?
2 weeks before he died was before Christmas or before Thanksgiving. And he called up and asked if I could come down to the nursing home to see him. I hadn't seen him in a little while. And so I said, sure. Went down and saw him. He goes, I don't think I want to thank you because what you made me do, he goes, I enjoyed it so much, but I don't think I'm going to be alive this Christmas to do it. And he goes, I need you to make me a promise. I need something as one of my dying wishes. And I said, sure, name it, John. He goes, this year you got to help Santa with the hotline. I'm like, oh, crap. No, you ain't going to die. Well, he died 2 weeks later. I think it was a couple days after Christmas, right before December 1st. So I wound up had a great time. And the special needs kids called in, and the kid's name was, well, I'm not going to say his name, but what he said his name was Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. And he called up and he goes, hey, Santa. And I'm not going to do his voice because I'm not making fun of him now. I love these kids to death. My little brother is mentally handicapped. By the way, I got to give a shout out to Lester and my niece, Rosie. But my little brother Lester is mentally handicapped. He had brain damage when he was a baby, and he's not down, but he's special needs. Okay. This kid called me up and he goes, are you Santa? And I said, yes, this is Santa. He goes, well, then if you're really Santa, do ho, ho, ho. And I said, ho, 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 like that. And he goes, you sound like the Jolly Green Giant, not Santa. So he busted my chops on this. Okay, long story short, convince him that Santa's real. I hope your kids are out of the room now because they should be in bed by now. Okay, so anywho, he said, if you're really Santa, then you'll call me from your sleigh right before you're leaving. So I called him up. He told us what we wanted, and some of you guys and gals were gracious enough to donate to these special need kids. They got their Xbox. They got their fuzzy flip-flops with the bunny ears. Whoever found those, I have no idea. I looked for them, couldn't find them.
They were so cool.
One of the readers got them, and that went to, I'm not going to say her name. But when I asked him his name, he goes, I can't tell you my real name because you don't know my real name, but I'll tell you what my, what did he say, Felonious or Belonious?
I think he said Belonious. I think he meant Felonious. It was
my
so
Belonious
precious.
name is Peter Parker. You know who he is? And I said, yeah, Spider-Man. And he goes, that's right, I'm Spider-Man. And I said, okay. So come Christmas Eve, and the hotline shuts down the day before Christmas Eve.
We had made a promise for him to call back to answer.
And so, what did she say? Sorry.
Should her young'uns ate in bed?
Well, it's 7:47 there, Lori. Keep your kids. You know how to
put
whip
it on mute
kid's
for a minute.
Butt. I've seen you whip your kids' butts when you're growing up. Just get them out of the stinking room, Lori. Anyways, the kid was just awesome, and he's like, you make me a promise, Santa Claus, that when you get in your sleigh and you're on your way to my house where I live at, you're going to call me and tell me. And I said, well, Peter Parker, you need to call me, and I'll have Stumpy the elf dispatch it to me.
Yeah.
Stumpy's one of our elves. So Peter Parker calls me up, and then he says, he goes, I'm not supposed to be on the phone. Can I speak to Santa? We'll make it quick. So I knew he was going to be calling. Well, I was hoping he would be because we made him a promise. So we get the bells, the Rudolph bells.
We got the song going, the sleigh. It sounds like you're right. Yeah.
The whole 9 yards.
We had everything going.
And sure enough, Peter Parker calls up. Peter Parker says, Santa, are you on my way to your house? And I said, yes, I am. And you're going to be in bed? You're going to be getting some sleep? All of a sudden, I just hear, and then nothing but silence. And I hear, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. And I hear all these people screaming. And this is a facility that has the Down syndrome kids there. And then it gets deathly quiet. And then I hear somebody walk by and go, why is the phone on the floor? And pick it up and go, hello? And I said, she goes, hello? And I said, hello. And she said, who is this? And I said, Santa Claus. She says,
I love this. This was the best.
Who? And I said, Santa Claus. Peter Parker just called me. I'm in my sleigh getting ready to go there.
He wasn't even supposed to have the phone.
He's not supposed to be on the phone. She goes, hold on. I'll be right back. Can you hold on? I said, sure.
They were really quiet.
So she walks down the hallway and she's like, Peter, you in bed? And you hear, shh. And then you start hearing it sounds like snakes coming from all the rooms. And then it gets deathly quiet. And she comes back and she goes, Santa? Because she knew that we were going to be there delivering all the presents in a few hours. She goes, Santa, can you do this every year? Because all those kids are in bed with their heads underneath the covers and they are not making a sound, which is unusual.
And this was like 8:00 at night.
But these kids are going to be in the studio next Friday night, and I'm so freaking excited. And I hope you guys will tell your friends, because they're going to take in. We're going to take some calls in on the show, and you guys can talk to them, and they're going to tell you about their bowling and everything else. If you don't catch any shows the rest of the year,
please don't miss Friday night, 7:30 live, right here on the Putnam Way.
We got to get out of here. We're way out of time, but
yes, we are.
It doesn't matter because they own the thing. Anna said that's so funny. It is, but
well,
Peter
wait till you meet 'em
Parker.
in person. They're
Peter
precious.
Parker's going to be in here.
I know
Friday
Peter Parker's
night.
going to be in the studio.
I cannot freaking wait. I
can't
love this
either.
guy.
He's so precious. But y'all, this is what it's all about. When you see these kids and these faces, I'll tell you what. If you don't get in the Christmas spirit after being around these kids who have it all year long, people come down on people with Down syndrome. But you know what? To me, I'd love to have they're filled with life. They're filled with happiness and joy. They don't see the hate in people. So if you all could have that all year long, it'd be special.
Yeah, Anna, if you'll let us know.
We'll give you the hotline. Watch for the hotline. It'll
the Santa hotline will be up.
And leave us a message, and Stumpy the Elf will make sure Santa's patched through.
Yeah, we'll have a special thing, and we can't. Unfortunately, I'm on one person. I need a couple of people to help me with Santa's hotline, and we do. If we can't get to your child, we do see the numbers that come up.
We try to write them down and call them back. We can't make a promise, but we will.
And it will be shutting down at Eastern time. I have to get some sleep. We had because we didn't put it up last year, and we put it up at 10 o'clock at night. Well, we didn't put Eastern time. There's people in California that were calling at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 in the morning, yeah.
I think it was 9 o'clock. There were people.
It was 9. I think it was like 6 to 9. But
people in Saudi Arabia and all over the freaking
whole world.
Calling in
awesome.
to talk to Santa, and the thing was like, I couldn't even see the screen. It was blurry. Somehow we managed to call all the kids back, and I'll tell you guys more about that. There's some funny stories. Kids cracked me up.
We also had a birthday request that Santa called in, and all the elves at the Stumpy and the elves all wished the young man a happy birthday too. Yeah,
I say. Anna said there's apps for the Santa thing.
Welcome, Janice from West Virginia. So unfortunately, we get ready to close out for the night. But
Janice from West Virginia, how you doing? It's getting cold there.
Yeah, so that
Janice, people are crazy in West Virginia. I've been up there. That red clay and stuff, and that cold weather. Girl, there is warm weather in Florida most of the time. But anywho, we got to get out of here. We'll talk about the. I'll give some of the stories this coming week on. We're on the air Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday nights from 7:30 until 8:30. Tonight we went overextended, but it's very important. You guys and gals show up that can make it. Show up at the meeting in Pomona Park on next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. We might be starting at 7. I've got to talk to the parents. We're going to do a live broadcast from there. Anybody wants to come out and voice your opinion, go ahead and put that up, Chris, so they can see it.
Yes, people, this is very, very important. Share it with your friends. Share it with your neighbors. If nothing else, come and sign the petition. Show your support. Show them, that you support the community, support your kids.
The more people that we have to sign these petitions, and we are going to be doing an online petition, the more people that sign these things, the better chance we have of having these 60 kids that's going to lose their education, their way to a doctor, a dentist. We have a great thing that we're going to be trying to get set up. Hopefully we can make it work, and hopefully the powers to be up in Tallahassee will support this thing, and we can get it open for our small community down here in South Putnam.
Amen.
Now, if you guys want to check us out, you can check us out on Facebook on IITW Radio. We have some 4,000 artists, great artists. You're going to hear Austin Neal here in a minute as he closes out the show with his songs. He has some very patriotic songs. He will be over at Crystal Cove tomorrow night. I will be over there covering it live with some of my staff. And you can check out, if you want the latest in news in Putnam County or from all over the world. We don't just put up Putnam County. We have live feeds coming in all over the place. You can go to the Putnam Way, the THE Putnam, PUTNAM, Way, WAY, for you people listening on YouTube and Radio Co. and different other places wherever we're streaming at all over the world. You go on the Putnam Way and check out what's going on. You can check us out on YouTube. Go to IITW Radio. The reason I say it so slow is because they always make it say, they say I make it sound like one I, but it's two I's, a T, and a W. You'll see it in the background if you're watching it, if you're just listening to it. Hit the little dinger button there. What is it, a bell?
Hit the bell.
Notification bell.
The notification bell so you can know when we got stuff up and coming.
You know what?
Make sure you subscribe. And don't forget to go to iitwradio.com. Check out our website. We have new stuff happening every day. There's going to be giveaways coming up.
Yeah, we got a guitar. Let's try in the next week or so to give a guitar away. One of the signed ones. I'm going to take it up and get Austin Neal to sign it tomorrow night. Don't let me forget that.
Yeah, we have Sean from Richter 7, Calvin O, and then we'll get Austin to sign it.
Get Austin Neal. We'll give this thing away.
Around Christmas.
Christmas present. We are also going to be doing a vehicle giveaway. I will be announcing that next week. Let's give a yeehaw, Cheyenne. My daughter, Kaylee. Let's see, Monday night. One day next week, we're going to give away. Let's go ahead and give away a crock pot.
Let's go with Monday. Let's see who's paying attention tonight.
Yeah, Monday
see if
night.
y'all come back Monday night.
Come back. We're going to give away a crock pot, and it's a big crock pot. Trying to get it all on the screen there. What is it? 4 or 5, 6, 5 quart casserole.
I'm pretty sure it's 5 quart.
Crock pot. I don't know. I know I've got one like it, and the damn thing works good. You put your stuff in the morning, come home at night, come back in the evening or a few hours later. Things are fabulous. And yes, Cheyenne, I bought you one last year. These crock pots are great, though. Anyways, we got to get out of here, guys and gals. Thank you so much for listening. I want to thank Tammy and Cameron over there for what they do. Marie on the other side of the desk from me. Mr. Hand back here, Chris, that takes care of all. Where'd your hand go? There it is, right behind my head. Yeah, that side. For all you do, Chris, thank you so much. You guys keep the show running for me. For all you guys and gals that are listening, do me one favor. Keep the veterans in your prayers at night. Keep the homeless in your prayers. Keep these kids in prayers. Our first responders, our sheriff's department, all the people that make life worthwhile. I want to thank you guys for listening in tonight, and we will see you back here on Monday night. Oh, my shout-outs. Mama B, you thought I forgot you, didn't you? Made Mama B some chicken soup the other day because she wasn't feeling good and took it to her. Mama B is actually going to be on the air here pretty soon. You gals are going to get to meet her. She is a trip. I love her to death. To my niece, Rosie, my little brother, Lester, to my brother, Terry, who is just riddled with cancer right now and barely making it. Brother, I love you. He's in for surgery right now. It's in his bone marrow. It's throughout his whole body. You guys do me a favor and keep him in your prayers. Tammy, I hope you're feeling better. Tammy and Cameron over in Tampa, who are behind the scenes making things work. Thank you to Annette and Audrey, Mr. Steve, Gary and Tiffany. Who else do we got for shout-outs?
Thank you to every one of our listeners tonight.
Yeah, I'll give you all a shout-out.
New and old. So
and if you guys got a shout-out
y'all.
you want for somebody to give us, for us to give out, put it up on the thing on Monday night. And thank you for the hearts, whoever's sending those up. I think that was my daughter.
Pretty much.
Brittany Andrews. Hey, Pops. Hey, Brittany. She got in here at the last end of it. Steph, Brittany, Phillip, all you guys and gals, thank you so much for listening. We got to get out of here and let you guys get to bed. Remember,
you guys have
Wednesday
a great, safe
night.
weekend. Yes.
Wednesday night, be there, be square. We got to save this facility. We got to make it happen for these little kids. Oh, the other shout out, Cindy Shaw.
Yes, Cindy Shaw.
And Regina Foley.
Yes. Also, Miss Tiffany Parker. I promised her I would give her a shout out.
Yeah, Miss Tiffany Parker. I hope you're feeling better, Tiffany.
Yes, sweetheart. Everybody needs to keep Miss Tiffany in our prayers. Miss Tiffany is one of our artists, and she's been going through a lot of real bad health problems, and she could use all the prayers she can get right now, y'all.
Okay, to my kids that are listening, and I have a bunch of kids that hang out here that are my kids. They're just as much as my own. Next Thursday night, mashed potatoes and gravy for the ones of you that show up. My little lovely children who are all grown now. Brittany, Cheyenne, Hunter, William, Dennis, all you guys. All right, got to make that stuff. We got to get out of here. Love you guys. We'll see you back here. Well, we'll see you tomorrow night over there at Crystal Cove.
Oh, yeah, Crystal Cove. Yeah, we will be there from 7 to 10. Hope to see you there.
We're out.
Good night, y'all.
Oh, and enjoy the song by Austin Neal. This is the guy that's going to be playing at Crystal Cove tomorrow night. This guy just rocks it out.
He is a veteran.
Looking back on the rainy day spinning all day under your covers. Oh, those days have come and went. But girl, I knew there was no other. For all the times that you and me had, it didn't matter good or bad. Now I wish I can get it all back. Come on, rain, rain, bring back those memories. Rain, rain, just one for you and me. When I see those clouds moving, you know what I'll be thinking. Come on, rain. Come on, rain. The night we met, it was raining outside. You were walking down the beach all by yourself. I said,